Today we are talking to someone who isn't just a national icon, international icon. She is a bright, shining star who we are delighted to count as one of our own, which we do.
Yes, she's undeniably a cherished member of our extended chosen family. And look, would it be too far to say she's the Aussie Queen of Christmas?
I think that'd be very accurate.
I think so too.
To say that, Christian, and very well said. You are quite right. We are talking about the delightful...
I was kind of hoping you'd say only Santa knows.
Well, Santa knows a lot of stuff.
Would you like that again?
No, but everybody knows that.
True.
Santa and everybody else
Sure.
knows that she is wonderful. We're talking, of course, about the very fabulous Delta Goodrem. I can take my glasses off now. It's lovely to see you. How are you?
Oh, it's wonderful to see you both. I'm very happy to be here and honoured to be on the podcast with Chosen Family.
Of course. I mean, I actually think there's no one that feels more like family that isn't family, technically, than you. I mean, I've known you personally since I was 7.
Yes. I mean, I remember you being that age. I remember from pancakes or in New York together.
Yes,
when
Mickey Mouse pancakes.
Mickey Mouse when you're only tiny, and just like watching you grow into the beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous man you are. It's been a joy to watch you grow, and hopefully I've stayed the same age since since you met me.
You look gorgeous as an 18-year-old as ever.
What year was that, do you reckon, in New York?
2004.
Wow.
I reckon it would be 2004 or 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time that was for you.
I mean,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's a, I feel like, the three of us as well. I was worried coming in. It was like, wait, I haven't got my brother or my mum, or I should have called one of the family. But exactly, my mum firstly always said this great quote. She always said, she wished her mum and dad had been around to share in my journey with music and obviously with my brother. But I said to her, you know what, Mum, you've got an extended family in Australia. You have aunties and uncles everywhere, brothers and sisters that have become like family around the country. And I think that that's a true statement. I said, you got to share it with lots of people, and we've had extended family. And I feel like no more than the two of you two have obviously been a big part of my life. And you are family to me. So I'm a very ride or die kind of character, and I always have been. And
it's very Wilkins of you.
Yes, it is.
I think it probably was around that time in New York when we kind of bonded that it became more than just a professional sort of relationship, if you know what I mean.
For sure. And I mean, I think you did one of my first ever TV interviews, Richard. I think it was my very first in Hyde Park.
Let's just go with it was the first. It was the first ever, ladies and gentlemen.
It definitely would have been. Like I remember I had a lovely lady who was doing media training when I was like 15 or something. Leah McLeod, and she was, and I remember her being there as well that day.
Yeah, well, we were walking around the beautiful fountain, the
Near Anzac, yeah.
No, we were walking there, and I remember you were like brand new, and we were talking about a song that ceases to exist.
No, I mean, there was my very first song. I was like 15 years old, and it was called "I Don't Care," which is the total opposite of my ethos. I don't care. I definitely care. I really care in general. But it was a great song written by a great Australian, Steve Kipner, and I loved the song.
Oh, Steve Kipner, as in Physical.
Yeah, there's in Physical, Junior Bottle.
Wow.
He's someone who's lived in LA, his whole life with his family, and still has a very strong Australian accent. But yeah, he was a great man. But that and we did a lot of work on album 3 of mine. But that first song kind of led me into still keeping up on the wall. Still was clear that that wasn't meant to be. But I learned a lot in that moment.
His dad wrote "Too Much, Too Little, Too Late." Remember for Johnny? Too much, too little, too late.
Did he?
Yeah, Nat Kipner. So we're walking around the reflecting pool in Hyde Park there.
The water thingy. To scientists.
It's and that I remember that so clearly. I mean, I can't believe it's that long ago. And you were so young, and you were so excited, and you were speaking so quickly, and everything was wonderful.
I know. I mean, I look back at some of those interviews, and I'm surprised anyone got a word in, because when I'd get nervous, I'd start talking rather than be quiet. I'd be like, oh, and then I did this, and then I did that, and I was like, I still talk a lot. So it's.
Oh God, I remember. When I look back at some of that early MTV stuff, hi, good evening, welcome to it's like, shut up, slow down, you idiot. It's when we're young, we're so excited, and we just have to get it all out.
Exactly.
Well, since those days, I mean, we've, crossed paths. And I remember your 21st birthday.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, you were there at my 21st. I mean, that's...
What did you wear?
I actually wore a big...
Me or her?
big.
You wore skinny jeans.
I would have worn skinny black jeans.
It was at the State Theatre, and
Quite a do.
it was quite a big do out the front. It was the Delta 21st. My mum had put it together, and I remember I was late. And my mum was so upset that I'd missed the harpist. There was a harpist, and I was like,
That's what every 21-year-old wants.
We paid
at
good
their
money for that
21st,
harpist.
A harpist.
and a chocolate fountain or something. And
I have no idea how much that harpist cost.
Yeah, so there was a harpist, Delta. It's one of my first memories of getting there going, Delta, you missed the harpist. And I was like, sorry.
I love your mom. I can so hear her saying that.
I know. She's amazing. And I love that my mum, she's actually quite a creative at heart. I think and I think that's something I've understood even as sort of getting older, that she sort of has a natural sort of out of the box thinking. And
she was along the ride with you from the very beginning. I mean, she was always your
She actually
sidekick.
gave birth to her.
Yes.
Did she?
The ride started
Yeah.
early on.
It's true.
Wow.
How about that?
Do people know that?
We'll have a little chat
They have an inkling, yeah.
after the recording session.
I also feel like, you can't miss that we are definitely identical in our features.
So when you were growing up and your mum and dad, you obviously had this incredible talent. Who was the first person to recognise that? You or them, you reckon?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I have told this story a few times, but it is one of the very first memories when I think about my parents realizing that this was this is who I was, this is part of my heart. And that was when we were in New York, and I'd just seen Phantom of the Opera, and I was sort of singing the melody back. Think of me fondly when we say, and I was singing just walking along the street, and my mum and dad turned around and they kind of looked at me, and I remember sort of looking at them, and they said, do that again. And I just sort of was singing away on the street. And again, I would have been about 7 years old.
Wow.
But I still remember this feeling of them going, oh, they know now. Yeah. And I remember this moment of they know, and I knew they knew, and they knew I knew.
Yeah.
And I remember that as one of my first, I'm talking very small, but I just remember it. And I remember then obviously at singing schools and, at my performing arts college that was outside of school, they both just sort of believed that I was just an individual with this craft it came out of nowhere to them. They weren't necessarily in any music space or, creative arts. My dad was in the paper industry, as in actual paper, not the papers.
Not the stuff we read, the stuff we write on.
Not the things you read, actual physical paper. And so they definitely were kind of, they were just very nurturing to, I'd discovered the piano, and I was an active spirit. Like you said, I was naturally very, adventurous and chatty and wanted to entertain the kids at school, and they understood that they had to keep me busy. So it was, let's go to sports classes, let's go to dancing classes, purely because I had so much energy. And when I found my love of piano and sports, they sort of they gave me the freedom to discover all these things and nurtured it and encouraged. But I think they both knew pretty young that I was very focused on music and creating and writing songs.
I love that story of the light bulb moment in New York City.
Yeah,
Boom.
It was. I mean, It's full circle. Yeah, I it's still a little, I don't know, when we have these little jars in our head that we just can pick out a visual that you can go back to like that.
Well, I feel like,
teleport.
especially as a child, that's such a validating feeling to be like, I feel seen and I feel respected for this thing that I really love.
For sure. I recognize that my parents were incredibly, I would not get to do what I love to do without both my brother and I get to do what we love to do because our parents believed in us and supported us and drove us early mornings. I mean, when I was at school, I wanted to win I always set goals. Like when I was at school, I wanted to win the sports person of the year. That was the big trophy. It was a big trophy. They'd give it one person in the school. And, I wasn't the strongest swimmer. So I was said to my mum, I'm going to have to be the strongest swimmer to win that trophy. So she got up every morning at 6 a.m.
Bless.
We went to the local swimming place. And I think back and think how my mum, would drive me to all these places. And then I did win the trophy, but it was because, again, my mum said, my mum said, well, all right, you got to train, make it happen, discipline. And, they're great, amazing parents.
Have you still got that trophy stuck
Yes,
amongst
I do.
those 12?
Are you kidding me? I
12
definitely
ARIA
do.
awards and 3 international music
Well,
awards.
my brother. When I won my first ARIA, I said to my brother, actually it was a Logie first, and I said, does this count as 2 trophies? Because we had trophy cabinet wars, with sport, and he said, absolutely not. It's 1. That's 1 only, and I'm still ahead.
How many
And
are
I'm
you
like,
holding? Is it 1 statue? It's 1 trophy.
Exactly. It's 1 statue, 1 trophy. That's it. That's the competition delta.
Yeah.
Now, your grandma had a musical bent, though. Is that right?
Yeah. So there was. So I learnt on what was that program?
This Is Your Life?
No, I haven't done that yet. I've still got a lot more life.
Well, never mind. You could do it by the water thingy.
What, when you were browsing your Wikipedia page or something? No.
What is it? Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
The series I did a few years back. That's how I found out.
That's such a great show. I love that.
Yeah, it is. I learnt that my great grandmother, she was on New York in the chorus lines. So she was in the theater
In New York.
Yeah, and oh my God,
Wow.
why are we bringing this up? So this is like the 3rd New York chat today.
But I mean, I think that it's amazing that
It's
she was
stemmed.
performing in New York, and that's kind of the place where your parents saw you for the first time.
Ooh, I just got little chills. Yeah, that's true. Florence was her name, and she went over on and was performing. Yeah,
That's a great story. And New York is also where you kids sat on that park bench before eating your Mickey Mouse pancakes.
I would have only been like 19, and you would have
That's
been
crazy.
Like,
I was just going to say, I remember, because I think that was the first time we met. And that whole morning, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going out to meet Delta Goodrem. Delta Goodrem.
you were so cute as well, though.
He
You were
was
so
cute.
like,
It was a long time ago.
yeah. But I mean, like, speaking of amazing parents, I mean, you're such an amazing parent. Like, and it's I think about, you're just a gorgeous kid as well. You were a gorgeous kid from day one.
Well, I also actually think a big reason why I love you so much is I could see from a young age how much you respected and loved Dad as well. And I could really see that. And as someone that is his biggest fan, that made me love you all the more.
Yeah, no, I love that. I know it's true.
I love the fact also your parents named you after a Joe Cocker song. And Joe Cocker visited New York City many times. Delta Lady, what a great song.
It's true. I was named after Delta Lady. Mum was pregnant at the concert, and they both looked to each other and they said, Delta. And they knew. It was like they said, this is Delta. And my grandma apparently really didn't like the name. Apparently there was a bit of
some people
controversy.
live up to their name. Like Delta Goodrem is not an accountant. No shade to accountants.
You're 100% right. I'm
But-
definitely
love
not
our
an accountant.
All those
I
nice
wish
people
I
in the tax
was.
department. Yeah, I remember that lunch we had with Kate and John Stevens, and we were telling that story, and John burst into Delta Lady.
Yeah.
Delta Lady.
I'm going to need him to do a cover of that, please. I'm going to need him to sing that.
I think
the
so.
whole song. They loved Joe Cocker, my parents. Growing up, Joe Cocker, John Farnham, and the Jive Bunny was really all we had on in the house. I had to bring a few more influences.
Oh, what's not to love? Just listening to you talk about, your parents driving you to all these things and supporting you and Trent and sport and all that stuff. I'm just having a flash to this groundbreaking legislation that's come through in Australia banning social media. I'm curious to know what you think about that, letting kids be kids, not just scrolling all day.
Oh goodness, I feel so lucky that we didn't grow up in a world where we had to worry about another thing as kids. So being a kid for as long as you possibly can is my advice to any young spirit. It's just for as long as you can be a kid and enjoy being a kid and not being influenced or having too much sort of noise or having to worry about school when you get home. I mean, I think it'd be amazing if kids could get their minds to being independent thinkers and not be influenced from anything. Just exploring the world, looking up at the trees, enjoying the most, magical elements of being a human, which is such simplicity, that you can enjoy in, and going outside and playing cricket. And
It's amazing how much we want to grow up when we're kids. And then as soon as you do, you're like, but wait.
can I tell you, I didn't though.
I also enjoyed being a child. but
Really like what you're saying. I think I understood that as a kid. I was like, I've got plenty of time to grow up. I guess why Innocent Eyes, the actual album, made a lot of sense to who I was really. I had a strong identity really young where I was like, this is what I believe, this is what I feel, this is my value system. And frankly, like in the lyrics, you know, like I realized when cartoons didn't look the same, and that was my big discovery of, wait a minute, the cartoons aren't taking me into another world. I've like another fantasy has dropped off, and that was how that song kind of started as well.
Along the way, you know, you became part of Australia's family. I mean, do you remember the time when Australia just fell in love with you? It wasn't just the music.
I feel that deep connection with Australians, and I live it every day, and it's not a mystical in its. It's a truth that my reality every day when I meet Australians who talk to me like we've grown up together, I just presume I've met everybody at this point. So when someone comes up to me and starts saying, hey, Delta, you know, and they start chatting, I just presume,
Hi.
yeah, we know each other. Like I just, you know, and I love that. And I don't take that for granted. I feel when somebody at the coffee shop is just like, oh, hey, Delta, and, you know, oh, here's when they talk to me with such warmth or share with me, oh, back in 2016 or 2007. And I feel that energy of being a teenager when I first met everybody to now being, you know, 41. And I definitely, you know, I really value that and love our journey. It's been more than the music, and it's been, you know, I feel like people know me better sometimes than I even know myself. So.
Well, I think you've also been so vulnerable and so open with the Australian public. And it's, you know, both in your music and things that happen in your personal life. And I think that that's what's really allowed people to connect with you and see you as more than just this icon, but see you as this person that they really genuinely love, regardless of whether or not they've met you.
And it's been a career. It's as in been a long time. It's not been like one moment. I feel like it's been intertwined with, you know, some of the music will be soundtracks to people's lives, and sometimes some chapters it won't be. And I've always understood that it's sort of just seasons and reasons and rhymes, but that there's been a deep connection from day one, especially, you know, with that first record going into so many people's homes. Yeah. That I really love and cherish my relationship with the Australian people.
Everybody in the coffee shop, the hypothetical coffee shop, would have a story. Oh, I remember seeing you in such and such, or I met your brother, or you know Matt, or with something. Everyone would have a story, right?
Yep. I definitely get shared stories every day, and or, you know, oh, my brother, yes, your brother played for Centrals, or this, you know, like, and I thought, yep. And I welcome it. My heart is open to that connection. I really love it. It's beautiful.
And we played,
it's very unique.
We played Born to Try It, Auntie Pat's 50th and all that stuff. All that sort of stuff. Of what are you most proud, do you reckon? I mean, you're still so young. You've still got so much more to do. But what do you see as your great connection, your great achievement so far?
I think to hold true. Actually, my mum said this on the phone a couple of days ago. I think amongst the different changing culture that happens with, you know, just pop culture and life, I feel like I've stayed true to my value system the entire time, and my intention, which was just to connect with people and wrap around them with love through music. And that's really all. I didn't have any other secret agenda except to, you know, in the moments where, you know, I might have been questioned, is she that nice, or is this? And it's like I had no secret anything. I just loved music with all my heart and soul. I moved by music. It is my, you know, and the arts. And I was, you know, I guess there was the sporty side I had within me, and then the sort of music side. And I think I'm proud that I stayed true to what my intention was. I never veered away from if somebody was like, just for a quick moment, let's walk this path. I sort of always, not saying I didn't have my discovery paths and moments, but I'm saying I've stayed true to my value system and my intention, which was good music, good people, and connection.
Which is a testament to the way you were brought up. I mean, how hard is it, do you think? Well, how hard was it for your family? Not how hard, but how complex was it? Suddenly, you know,
it's very complex.
Suddenly Delta becomes this huge star, and it just changes everything. Suddenly you're on Neighbours, Born to Try, blah, blah, blah.
And nothing can prepare you. And it was a different time. Now it sort of doesn't have as much pressure on everything because the balloon's out a bit for everyone, where it's not that same like one show is so important or this. So there is a little bit, it's a different landscape, but to have that much sort of magnitude and people looking in to our life as a family was definitely, no one gives you a manual on how to deal with all that, and hence why my parents and my brother are not sitting here today, but they are with me in my spirit.
Of course.
They've always chosen to stay. They're private. We're not naturally like here we are. we're just very
you're just normal people, as it should be.
Was it hard to maintain that though at an era where like tabloid media was so big?
Well, I mean, it was very intense. It was. I mean, if you think about when, the album was number one around the world, and then I was obviously diagnosed with cancer at the same time, and everybody was outside our house, like our family home. And so that means that, our family's just in our home with dealing with something. And I think everyone did the best they could, amongst it. And you get used to it. My brother would be on the footy field, and of course my name's mentioned a lot. And but we're really tough. Us Goodrems are pretty tough. So I would say we're not. I think that should never be confused with. I know I think I saw somebody say this not long ago, but it's not to be confused with my strength is still there. I wouldn't mess with me either.
Yeah, but hard for your mum and dad.
Or my
brother. When suddenly you're on telly all the time, you're on the cover of TV Week, you're on number one, on the charts, and you crook. I mean, that's a lot for parents.
For sure. And sorry, go for it.
No, I was going to say, every time I drop Christian at the airport when he goes back to LA, I sob my eyes out all the way home and think I'm never going to see him again. But for your
we
parents,
went through all of that. Like every time I'd go, when I was so young, traveling back to the UK a lot, or I remember being in Singapore. I'd just done a show with Bocelli, and my mum just loved that one, and she had her friend with her. And then I had left again to another place. And I had numerous airports crying moments leaving my parents so young all the time, and I had all that. But yeah, it does bring in, I think I don't know if you feel this, but there can be an element of our daughter's off to everybody else, and it must be so hard for a parent to, of course, have armchair commentary at their kid, or it can be a lot for a parent because they can't control it. And I can't imagine my parents' version of our lives like that.
They must be endlessly, well, I know they are because they've told me, but they must be endlessly proud of the person you've become.
For sure, but they still keep me in line. Don't worry. They're still each day they're still keeping me in line, checking, telling me what to do.
Well, they're still on duty.
They're still on duty.
The job ain't done yet. But now you've extended your family.
They'll give me some feedback on this podcast, I'm sure.
Darling, why did you say
Lee,
that?
please say nice things.
No, we love your folks.
She looked very pretty at the wedding.
Oh my gosh, she looked gorgeous.
Yeah, she did. So Dad had a sparkly bow tie. I'm going off course, but I'm just thinking about watching this. You looked great at the wedding, Mum and Dad.
They really did though. Seeing Lee in the chapel and
I know,
oh my gosh, drama.
Everyone looked good in that chapel. Don't worry about that. Man, that was great. That was wonderful to be able to share that with you.
Yeah.
To feel so special. We painted a door at home, the pink of Malta on all the doors in memory of that wonderful. Well, it was special for you to be there, Christian, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing to be there.
You were one of the youngest there.
I would have literally flown over and told you to get your ass there.
I believe that you would have done that too. But I mean, obviously you have extended your family, and I mean that must feel amazing as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And yeah, it was
to share that with someone, this journey that you've been on.
Oh, you mean with Matt?
Yes, yeah.
His name's Matthew.
Sorry,
Matthew Copley,
I've been late in the studio. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
I could see in your eyes that you didn't know what I meant, so I was like, let me...
the tall guy up with the guitar. Plays a nice
my
Les
husband.
Paul.
When I was on the way here, actually, I called him by his normal nickname, and my phone didn't respond. And then I went, my husband. And then it was like, calling my husband. I was like, oh, all right, the phone has decided that's it. That's what it shall answer to.
Well, your husband is what does he describe himself? What does he write down with occupation on his musician or
Yeah, but I mean,
band leader?
He does run everything with me. I mean, he runs, we've been a business, when I left Sony a few years ago, we've run everything and he's been instrumental.
Boom, boom. She writes all her own material, ladies and gentlemen.
Instrumental in working hard with me.
And leads your wonderful band, who feature in your Christmas with Delta special, which is on the nation's television sets and around the world too.
Yep,
I'm happy to say. Just before Christmas, the 21st, which is how excited are you about that? 6 years in.
It's the best. I mean, it really has been a passion project from day one, and you've been there from day one.
As an observer,
of course, and a very good friend of Santa Claus.
There's a lot to love about Santa.
Yeah,
someone's got to keep him in line.
I have to tell you, Santa again is Santa again. This season is extremely funny, and I laugh the entire time when I'm watching it. He's very funny, but the show is fantastic in the sense that we get to give back. We have partnered with St. Vincent's and my foundation, Dr. Goodrem Foundation, and we're able to make a difference in the world and as well as bring music performances to TV. And I think that that's really important. I've been able to duet with so many artists from, Russell Crowe, who was incredible in the Colosseum. And then you had, of course he was in the Colosseum.
Of course, that's where he lives.
Yeah.
With a sword in his hand. Yeah, Russell was terrific.
He
on
was
the show.
amazing to then and getting to share that his incredible musicianship on our show.
He's got such presence, doesn't he, Rusty?
It fills the whole room.
Yeah.
And then you have, on the first year, I asked Kylie to sing with me and getting to do "When You Wish Upon a Star" or. Olivia, God bless her soul, was singing, and all the girls the first year. The first year when I called all my powerhouse women friends and said, I have my first Christmas show. This is my own, I'm making, can you do this for me? Each of the incredible icons and queens were like, I'm there for you, Delta, and I'll never forget that.
It's a testament to you. It's a testament to how amazing you are that they were willing to show up for you.
Oh, but you never forget that. And I think that's something really important in the industry. And it's something I do hope, young artists also understand, because I know that the mentors in my life who gave me that time, who went out of their way, like you do for everyone, Richard and Christian, you hope that is, I'll never forget that. I will do anything that that Olivia would ever call me going, will you do this? I'm like, I'm there. And it worked both ways, where she was like, I was there for her. She was there for me. And it's the same with, Kylie doing that for me. I'll never forget that. And it's, Kelly Rowland did the first year, and she's just super woman personified. And yeah, it's one of those things that, you're so grateful for artists and people doing right by you. And
your Robbie Williams.
Oh, Robbie Williams has done it twice. I think he is just one of the best performers just to ever grace the world as well. I just think he is. I always say it, I hope you would feel the energy of what Robbie brings to everybody, making everybody feel great in his presence. I just admire him. I think he's phenomenal.
He's such a beautiful guy, I haven't told the story before, I don't think. Robbie, when he was here on tour last time, he said, can you come backstage and say hi before the show, and can you bring Christian with you? He said, I've been going through his Instagram. I want to have a chat to him about some stuff. So we walked in there. There's a room of 20 people. Hi, Rob. How you going? Good. Nice to see you. Christian, come over here. He grabs him and sits down for, 20 minutes or something right before the show.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he talked to you about, but chatted away there just about stuff. And then he said, all right, thanks, everybody. See you. And walks on stage and let me entertain you. Off you go. He's such a beautiful
giving,
man, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He was really. It was actually about a week after an Arias a few years ago, where I wore an outfit that had stirred up some controversy, shall we say? And there were a few articles and comments and stuff saying people didn't necessarily like it, which he had obviously seen, and he really sort of talked to me and was like, "Are you okay? I'm really sorry that this is happening to you. I've sort of experienced this, obviously his to a much larger degree, but still to have someone sort of really connect with you and say that they see you. It was really amazing, really touching.
And those are the moments that, you know, getting to share with people how incredible he is like that, and just giving with his time and compassionate and like thoughtful and going, okay, I've been here and been there. It's funny because when we did the AFL grand final together,
which was awesome, you and your pink outfits.
So much. Can I tell you? Actually, I'm going to divert a tiny bit, but we'd just been on the tour with Backstreet Boys, right? And I'd done the anthem 2 weeks earlier. And I was like, no, I'm just going to wear like a black and silver, just like keep it really low key, as you know, just keep it cool.
Did the anthem where? Where'd you do the anthem?
At the football, like 2 weeks earlier. And then that had led on to that moment with Robbie.
Yeah.
And
also, just quickly, I like that you're like, I'm going to do black and silver really low key, but I know it still would have been sequins.
Oh yeah, no. It was still shiny and very like, it was still stage. But I was just very sort of, you know, I felt, you know, I'm coming on for this song. And anyway, so we will make the incredible designer Con was making my outfit, who has made so many wonderful pieces for me. And the silver and black outfit like broke the night, like the material ripped in the pants. It was the same silhouette. And he was like, I'm so sorry, but the only one we've, you know, got is the pink. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I said, Robbie, what color are you wearing tomorrow? And he goes, I'm wearing pink. And I was like, oh my God. It wasn't planned. It was totally fateful. And it all just came together. But the night before that moment, back to what you were saying, he was like, what era are you in at the moment with people? I said, we're good. Yeah, I'm good right now. And he's like, I was like, what about you? And he's like, yeah, I'm in a really good era. And I was like, it was that thing of knowing that you just have to, like, this too shall pass, as long as you have weather the storms and just keep walking through. But it was a funny moment. So, which one are you in? And I'm like, I said, I'm in a good one. You know?
Things are good.
I'm enjoying this. Things are good.
Before you walk on stage there for that song to sing Kids with Robbie in front of, you know, 100,000 people at the MCG, millions and millions watching. You've got to say, and that's, you know, it's a big song and you've got to belt it out. Do you get, what sort of nerves do you get?
Of course, I just the butterflies, you know, just some butterflies come around. Just
what do you do about that?
Breathe. Pray.
There aren't a lot of options, are there?
No. But no, I do look at them like I'm pumped. Like it is excitement. And I think it's that saying of the anxiety is actually the excitement of it, of freedom. And of course. And it doesn't matter whether it's a couple of people, it's millions of people. I still have the same amount of sort of how much I care about it and want it to be good or just do a great job. But that was just a great day though. It was like awesome. The energy was great. We were pumped. I was excited, you know, and I think there's some days that you just sort of feel the little we're going and I'm excited. Just have fun.
It all comes together.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Except when the Swannies lost that grand final. And Katy Perry, she did a good job too, I thought. Katy,
yeah, of course. Yeah. Katie's amazing and she's a great artist.
So how satisfying is it for you when, you know, you make a TV special, it's your company that makes it,
yes.
It goes on 9, it goes to stations around the world and everything, knowing that you're entertaining lots of families and people preparing for the big time of the year? It's
so wonderful to see that there's such an audience for the show. You know, we've sort of no year has been the same. So each year with Christmas at Delta has been different. We've been at the Opera House, Luna Park. We were in Los Angeles last year to the Coliseum, to Chatswood. We've jumped around. And it's kind of meant that every year has been like new learnings and, this is how, and this year we wanted it to be in a studio and make it feel like a sort of a Christmas hub. And it was just really, really fun. I love the artists are amazing. We've got Amy Shark, Pete Murray. This year we have
Cody Simpson.
Cody Simpson is, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's great.
Very handsome.
You gave me the task of telling you and Santa that there was trouble afoot. Do you want to set that up for the for
well,
the
we were a bit
listening?
worried. You know, you'll see Santa and I we're having our annual movie night, and you'll see we're a bit worried about the joy shortage in the world. So possibly, look, extreme measures were taken. We did have to basically rob Back to the Future. But I don't want to
and
give it away.
Santa.
We did have to get to the North Pole,
Of course.
and it was hard when there was a joy shortage for the sleigh.
Yeah.
So look, TBC to be continued, but it was imperative that we found a vehicle that we could get to the show.
I'm obviously not a policeman, but everything you're saying to me sounds completely legit. I understand.
So we don't want to, have a spoiler alert, but I mean, Christmas is going to go ahead.
Look, I mean,
Well, it's still up in the air.
It's still up in the air, Christmas it's still up in the air. The show I'm so proud of. I'm so thankful to Channel 9 as well. And, we've got a real Christmas team just bringing it to life, and lots of amazing duets. I mean, Gregory Porter, we have something for everyone on the show. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of songs. Yes, the Back to the Future musical team are a part of it. They're incredible. And every year just gets better and better. And this show is really joyful, and it's really fun and funny. Santa's funny.
Yes. Well, only Santa knows what you've got planned for next year. But what can you tell us? What do you got up your sleeve for?
I mean, straight away, as soon as I think we delivered, the show's finished yesterday. And as soon as we do that, we all start going, oh, this would be good for next year, wouldn't it? Oh, what about this? Should we do this next year? I've already got ideas.
Wow. But what about throughout the year? Between Christmases, what are you going to do? Please say new music.
Yeah, new music.
I literally am cross-eyed from being up late in studios at the moment. So I have dedicated, I actually for the first time was like, that's it, I'm shutting out. I'm just making the music. And it's been nice to get that roll on, because obviously, I've been so grateful. We've had the fragrances, we've had all sorts of incredible shows this
Over
year.
1 million units sold.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
The new one.
That's a lot of smelling good.
It is. A lot of people are smelling great out there. Actually, one time I was in a restaurant and I went, I swear I can smell the fragrance, and
I smell me.
Sure enough, the lady goes, I'm wearing Dream, and I was like, oh, amazing. But yes, I've studio. We have a big year planned with new music, and I'm very excited to be in the new music.
I've
train.
had a sneak peek, and people are in for a treat.
Yes,
that's all I will say. Have
you
you listened? Have you had a sneak peek?
I can't say no, I haven't actually. Yet. You would have to clear your head to make space for the creativity to come in because everyone wants a piece of you, right?
Yeah,
for all the
yeah.
different projects and friends saying come on our podcast and all that sort of stuff, and the Christmas special and all that sort of thing. You would have to just go, no, this week I'm being creative. Yeah,
because I always want to, it takes a lot for me to be like, no. I was like, oh, I can make it happen. I can do it. But I definitely am really. I had a couple, I just really I love the new music deeply. And it really takes a second for me. For some reason, every chapter, no album has come together the same. Every album comes together differently. It just does. Like, you think you know the process, and then a new album, you're making new music and you're like, how did this album come together like this? It's just, there might be same principles, but it never kind of forms in its sculpture the same way as the last one did. And this time I did have to just kind of shut the door and kick everybody out of the office and turn the fairy lights on and just sing and play piano and write songs for hours and hours and chip away at it. But it's really fun when you get in that mode, and I'm really glad I did it because I have my record. So.
And you have to let those creative juices flow in whatever form they decide to arrive, right?
Exactly. And you have to be open to hopefully channeling and just finding things that might speak through, or whether there's just inspiration in, you're looking around, all of a sudden that side of you opens up again, and inspiration is everywhere, where you're like, oh, what does that say? You all of a sudden start seeing it differently. For when you're not in that mode, you might not recognize a concept as well, or sort of a sentiment that might mean something to the chapter. So
what does it feel like when you have written and recorded something and it feels like a hit? Because obviously your music is so emotionally open. So I feel like on one hand it could feel very emotionally draining, but also when you've written something and it's just awesome, there must also be such a high.
Oh, there is 100%. Like, I'm just like it's the same feeling as when you're about to walk out at the grand finale. You're like, woo! You just get like pumped. Like
She's sitting on top of the world.
Sitting on top of the world. Yes,
like
I am. Whoa. Whilst I've loved getting to play so many of the songs, I'm definitely ready to interject with the new music, and I feel like people would be as well from me at the moment. So
I loved on the last tour, the last shows we saw, how you sort of did a medley of a lot of the hits all together, but also you drifted off into other sort of songs along the way.
We do, like, when we did the Mistaken Identity anniversary shows this year, God, I just enjoy that so much. It's such a joy because albums were such albums and we had to create an album. I know that sounds simplified,
it's true.
But
and it used to be such a clear era. This was the aesthetic. This was the sound. This was the marketing.
And I feel that that's here in this climate as well. Like people are creating that, but it's such single driven focus as well. But I just diving into those records and playing them from top to bottom in those shows. It's so much fun. It's a real. The musicianship and going into that record was really like, it was really surprising. I was like, they let me play that piano like that in this?
No, it's great to see that. We saw Jimmy Barnes doing the Working Class Man for the Working Class Man album last night, which was great. And hearing some of those songs that you hadn't heard, that he hadn't heard for so long.
I loved on your tour when you were like, you might not recognize this song. Even I skip it all. You said something
I was like, definitely. There's like one or two songs on every record you're like, I don't really have to play this, do I? I was like, oh no, skip. So I put in Donna Summer at the end of that one. It was miscommunication. I hate that song on that record. And I was like, how do I fix this? And so it kind of merges into the band intro. I feel love.
Which was great. That was such a great tour. Yeah. So you don't want to repeat what you've done, but you want to maintain your truth to yourself and all that sort of stuff.
Hey, if I get to do another anniversary show of the third album now, 20 years each, I'm just going to do each album. It really is the best fun because, you never get to play those deep cuts. So getting to do it in that environment is really inspiring actually, because you're like, oh wow, that's why I put it on the record, or that's why I shouldn't have, or like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Delta, thank you so much for your time. We love you. You are family.
Too. You are family to me.
Nothing's ever going to change that.
And you've got great hair.
You've got great hair. You've both got great hair.
That's the real clincher to be part of the
Wilkins
family.
A Goodrem Wilkins.
Yeah. You must come in with good hair.
And Merry Christmas to you and your beautiful family.
Thank you very much, and to yours.
From us and ours and our collective family.
Oh,
to you.
Thank you very much for having me on your podcast. And to all your beautiful listeners, you couldn't be in better hands over here than these two.
Oh, thank you. Very sweet. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, Delta.